Hello everybody, thank you for joining me, Chris, with Game Gumshoes. Today on Game Gumshoes Presents, we have My Word. It's by Out of Box Games. You may remember them from Snake Oil, Word on the Street, and several other. Apples to Apples, I think, is one of theirs right now. Word on the Street is a very competitive spelling type game. We'll cover the construction first. Well, actually, stats. My Word, Out of Box Games, 2 to 6 players, and it says 7 to up. Now, if you're trying to teach children how to spell and things like that, you can go a little bit lower. In fact, you can go quite a bit lower. But it's all a matter of how intelligent your kid is, or how much you want to impress. Maybe impress is the wrong word. Instill a vocabulary on your children. So, cards. Again, nice thick deck of cards. They're glossy on both sides. A little rough around the edges. But food doesn't stick to them well. You can wipe them off fairly easily. Not as good as plastic cards, but pretty good. Now, each version of My Word is slightly different on how it comes. Some come in a little metal tin. My particular copy came in this plastic case. Now, it's a nice little flexible case, so you're not going to drop it and it chip or shatter, which has a tendency to happen when you have a more solid case. These are your rules. Let's go all the way. Yes, the game is that simple. Then, one of the things you need to know about the cards is with the cards, you have, consonants, you have vowels, you have a question mark, which can be a random word of your, or a letter of your choice, and you have the double letter. So, when you're playing it, they say 2 players can play this. Honestly, when we tested it, we didn't see it happen. I even talked to them about it, and they're like, it can be done, but the problem is if you have 2 people that are very knowledgeable in words and play a lot of word games like, crossword puzzles, word vines, things like that, it's going to be very difficult to do what you're supposed to do. Because although one person is flipping the cards, if you're both supposed to be trying to guess the words that are being built, it does become a little bit difficult, because the person who's dealing the cards is also supposed to be judging who called it first, which to me that's a little skewed. I mean, you could always say, well, of course I called it first, I saw it immediately as soon as I put the thing down. And then you get into a fight and an argument, and it's not fun. So, I recommend playing with at least 3 players. The way we did it this past weekend, while we were out eating at a major restaurant, was that 2 players played and 1 person just dealt out the cards. Thankfully, it was 2 people my age and then 1 very young child, an 8-year-old. And so an adult versus the 8-year-old was kind of interesting, because it gave us a chance to use some of the rules where they talk about, giving the kid a chance. In fact, you'll see that in my written review where I say, maybe the kid sees it before you do, but doesn't necessarily. Plus, I know when I took my turn as one of the people guessing the words, I had to let quite a number of words slide because they weren't exactly proper. And we were letting the 8-year-old use proper names, which you're not supposed to do, but 8-year-olds and other little kids can get a little leeway on that, if you so choose. There's also an advanced level rule where you have to have a minimum of a 4-letter word. Standard game is 3-letter word minimum, and if you're using small children, you can go as low as 2, but only for the children. Adults still have to get 3 or more depending on their level of wordsmithing. When you get the double letters like this, you have to use it as the double letters. So I have the TR, A, and if I see P, or if I see the question mark, I can go, "It's a trap!" And that would be a good word, be valid. I would spell it out loud so everybody at the table knew that it was indeed the word I decided to choose. And you know, it can be fun. It can be a lot of fun, especially if the little kid thinks that they're beating you. An adult, you should know words better than them, which is always fun. Now, as a game, it's okay, but as a learning tool, this is an amazing game. You know, most flashcards that they have for small children are big, bulky things, and they don't really draw your attention. It's usually a white background with the letter and maybe a picture of something that represents that letter on the back side of it. Here, you've got cartoon bubbles with letters inside of them. And it's the same green and red flashy colors that are used in Apples to Apples. So they're going to draw your eyes to them. You know, they kind of pop out at you. So, you know, you can use these as flashcards. You know, sit down with this game and play, you know, one-on-one with a child. And, you know, let them to sort through the deck and just make random words and tell you what it is. One of the rules we threw in when we were playing, you know, because we were mostly giving her leeway, was that if someone called out a word, not only did they have to spell it, but they also had to tell us what it was, or what it could be, because there were a couple words where I'm like, a little, and I had to ask, is it, you know, this kind of whatever it was, or is it this kind of whatever it was? Now, if I got a look like, what are you talking about? Then I knew that they were just making stuff up to try to get a, you know, a set of points. But, you know, the whole point thing and everything like that is in my written review. So feel free to check that out. It'll be at the bottom of the video. And I want to thank you for joining me. Check out my word from Out of the Box Games. And I guess I'll see you on the next time we do a review. Thank you.